to the next episode of our English School Alumni Podcast. We're privileged today to have the chairman and vice chairman of the original Alumni Association from the school, ESOBGA originally, ESOBGA, right? Which stands for the English School Old Boys Association. Then I understand it changed to ESOBGA, which included the G when the school went from boys only to co-ed, including the girls. So, Chairman Angelos and Vice Chairman Xenakis, welcome to the podcast. Can I ask you to introduce yourselves? Let me know which class of you were and where's your journey taken you since?
It's a long journey. Thank you, Victoria. I have graduated in 1973. Obviously, we joined the army service we had to do for two and a half years, and then off to the UK for studying. I'm a chartered accountant. I qualified in the UK, and ever since I've been working in two actually accounting firms. Both of them in the what we call the Big Four international firms, and
Nice.
I have retired as a senior partner of PwC in Cyprus.
Very nice.
I have served also as the chairman of the Cyprus Tourist Organization because of the expertise that I have managed to earn throughout my professional career. In servicing clients in that industry. I am married. I have two grown-up daughters. One of them is a lawyer and the other one is a psychologist.
Wow, that's impressive. That's great. And did they attend the English school also? Are they
No,
also
they
alumni?
didn't, because when they were at that age, we were working and living in Paphos.
Oh, okay, so quite a way away.
Yes.
And when did you return back to Cyprus after studying in the UK? Did you come straight back?
I came straight back with an exception of about 1 year in the Isle of Man, which is a small island, as you know, between the UK and Ireland, where I did my practice in the financial services sector.
Nice, very nice. You must have seen a lot of changes in Cyprus since you came back originally to today, right?
Definitely, yes. We have seen a lot of changes. If I may talk about my profession, we've seen a huge progression in the field of financial services, in the field of accounting. And we were honored actually as Cyprus because we were the first country to be chosen by the UK, the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales, to be the first country outside the UK where we could train young chartered accountants.
Oh, amazing.
Back in 1992.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know that. Impressive. Thank you. Xenakis, please tell us your journey.
Yes. Well, I graduated in 1975, which was the first class after the Turkish invasion to graduate from the English school. And like most of English school graduates, I went to the UK to study. I studied economics at the City University in London. Then I came back, got a job in a semi-government organization, the Human Resource Development Authority, Industrial Training Authority, as it was known then. I got married. I have two children. I was divorced at one stage. And I've been a member of ESOBGA for the last 15 years in various positions. I'm retired now, having retired a few years earlier than what I was expected to.
And are you enjoying that retirement?
I'm enjoying it very much, Victoria. Yes, I'm used to it.
Good. It's nice to hear that. So your current roles with the ESOBGA now is Angelos as president, chairman, and also Xenakis as vice chairman. So what do those roles encompass? What's the key points of the role that you have?
Okay, as you can appreciate, it's a volunteer kind of a job. We have stepped in. Xenakis has been there for many years. Obviously, he's much more experienced than what I am in the association. But with the changes and the new demands of an association which is attached to a school, we are trying to find probably what is the most efficient way of being of assistance to the school.
Okay.
And this is what we are discussing. Obviously, the idea of creating an alumni office for the school has excited us, and we have offered ourselves, obviously, as the natural way of assisting the school to help. Hence, our recent conversations, and we are looking forward to how we put up a system whereby we can be of more assistance and working together to attract new people showing more interest to help, more interest to volunteer, more interest to do things, to continue the visibility of the school, but also the offerings to the society.
Very nice. Xenakis, what do you feel like your role is?
I think Angelos more or less summed it up. My personal opinion is ESOBGA is part of the English school, part of the heritage of English school. I mean, maybe I should say at this point that ESOBA at the time, as you rightly said, was set up by Canon Newham himself in 1928, and Canon Newham was the first chairman of ESOBGA. And from 1928, it was quite active. Then it became inactive, but started from the 1960s, and especially 62 when ESOBGA came about because of the girls. It's been going on as an entity, registered with the register of clubs and societies, fulfilling all the obligations that we have to. And it has managed to attract, I would say, interest from English school alumni. And now we hope that together with the school always, we can take the whole project forward. It's part of the legacy, it's part of as one of my friends said in one of his speeches, when English school was set up in Cyprus, there was no Chelsea Football Club, there was no Imperial College, there was no Sheffield United, no Aspirin, and a lot of other things. So ESOBGA is proud to be part of that legacy.
That legacy.
Yeah.
And I think it is super important to, I mean, obviously we're talking about this being a digital platform now, but there is so much history there that we need to pull you guys together, ESOBGA together with the new alumni platform to make sure that we keep those bridges built and make sure that we keep those relationships flowing. I think it's hugely important.
Yes, as Angelo said before, we are in touch with the board, and apparently beginning next year, when it's the 125 years since the setting up of the school, they're going to have a lot of events. So we hope in that year and in that context, we would be able to, bring up a lot of hidden facts and present it to the public. ESOBGA itself, going back now in 2000, I think, we published a centenary album of, not of ESOBGA, of the school.
Of the school, right.
Which is a huge thing, hardback. So maybe in 2025 we do something similar, but as you said, digitally this time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Where we go.
But definitely there is a lot of history behind this, behind the school and behind the ESOBGA, that needs to be saved.
Very nice. And also, you mentioned about the office for the alumni. So you have, I would call it a clubhouse, but it's so much more than a clubhouse. A premises where Subca operates out of. For all of our listening viewers, it's incredibly beautiful space, right in the heart of Nicosia. They have an amazing restaurant there. The food is lovely, and they also have al fresco dining or dining outside, which in non super hot months is just a pure pleasure because you're right in the forest, and you're sitting outside and you have the breeze and the food is beautiful. And I know you have a number of events there. You've had weddings and ceremonies and events. So it's an incredible space, which would be great if we can drive business towards that, to raise awareness of also of ESOBGA, and also to sort of bring business in to keep that turning over. So tell me a little bit more about the clubhouse.
Yeah, you have summed it up quite nicely, actually, Victoria, because a club or a space or a place where people can meet and feel like it's their own place, nobody else's, it's their own place. It gives a different feeling and a different psychology for people to start thinking of events, or start thinking of doing things. Obviously, you need people to spend time and organize things. And now, I believe now with closeness and the close association with the school, with the board, the management board and all that, we will find events that will bring the alumni, will bring the graduates together, and use the space more. Obviously, we must say that to do that building, to do that club was a huge job. It was a huge job. I was not part of it, apart from one of those that have helped with the financing of the project. But Xenakis was there, and the immediate past chairman were there, and they have put a lot of work, a lot of time. We had graduate architects that have helped up for the design of the building.
Wow.
Engineers or people that we are having selling materials, building materials that have helped us. So that thing was done, and we are very proud. Originally, we must say that originally the club was run by the committee.
Right.
Basically, I mean, the chairman of ESOBGA or the vice chairman or the treasurer or whatever were the people that were ordering the material from the shops. They were cooking, they were serving, and they were doing, yes, this is what they were doing.
Wow.
And then obviously it has become apparent that this cannot continue. I mean, the committee cannot be the people that will serve other schoolmates that were coming there or whatever. So the idea was taken to subcontract the sort of management of the club, the restaurant basically. And this is one of the tasks we have, how we can convert the club into more usable space for members.
Okay. Very nice.
Yes.
How do you feel about the clubhouse?
I feel like my second home, Victoria, to tell you the truth, yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's good.
but I'd like to come back to something you said before. If there's no breeze in Nicosia, if there's no breeze at the ESOBGA clubhouse, there is no breeze in Nicosia. It's the best place, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Just to put the perspective. But as Angelos said, originally it was a modest prefabricated place. And going back a few years ago, in the 1960s, the first clubhouse was an old container
Right.
dedicated to ESOBGA, donated to ESOBGA by Paraskevaides from Skouriotis mines.
Oh,
You
wow.
can imagine, Angela. Now we are proud to have the building, and may I say that all expenses were taken care of by English school graduates. We didn't get €1 from anybody, from
Wow.
government, from
Yeah, right.
the official English school, from anybody. All graduates who donated in money or in materials. But now we are doing quite well, and we have the place there, and we invite everybody to come and join us. And I must say, with the caretakers we have currently, that's been a success. Quite a lot, I'd say. But still, we need to have as many as possible. We do have events, annual events that, if you like, they've become a tradition.
Right.
I'm thinking of Christmas dance, or of Canon Newham lectures, barbecue events, treasure hunts. Okay, because of COVID, everything was subdued for a while, but we are hoping to revive everything very soon. But now, in association with the alumni project of the English school, which is going to, I think it's going to contribute to have more people engulfing the clubhouse and the school.
Yeah. Well, I concur. It is a fantastic space. I've eaten there several times and been there various times during the day, and it is
Yes.
a really lovely space. It's got a lovely sense of calm about it. So
Yes, you're
I
right.
can absolutely understand how you feel as it's your second home. So, okay, thanks for that. Right, let me take you down memory lane. This is going to be fun. So, graduated in 1973. Can you share some memories, some fun memories, or some fond memories of your time at the English school up to graduation?
Well, I think the most vivid memory to anyone living or studying in the 60s and the mid 70s, where what brought everybody together were the sports activities. The sports activities of the school was a pan-Cyprian event. It was something which was known by everybody.
Right.
We had also another sort of special event, which were the games between three schools, namely the American Academy of Larnaca of boys, the Melkonian, the Armenian school, which has closed about 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Probably more, Angela. Yeah.
Probably more. And the English school. And the events were fantastic. Actually, my year, we have a very alive chat group, and we talk to each other. And for the months of July and August, we were talking about the best athletes we had at the school. Okay. And we went down the memory lane, and we remembered names of athletes that are well-known names in the society of Cyprus now. Some of them were not only best athletes in Cyprus, but some of them were considered as best athletes in the Balkans.
Fantastic.
So that's something. That's something that kept us together.
Yeah.
The other thing which stays in my mind is that I don't remember any student, whether it's right up, either a few years older or younger, that had other activities apart from activities of the school.
Right.
Now, all the students, as we know, that the students have so many other activities outside the school. even lessons, private lessons, even athletic sports or music or whatever. They do it outside the school. Okay, and that's something which personally doesn't make me happy, because I think this is what has kept us together. So these are, I would say, obviously, we lived in some troublesome times for the history of Cyprus since we joined the school and until the day we graduated. We had unrest in the island, which we still remember. So there are things, exogenous, I would say, exogenous factors or exogenous events that stayed in our memory.
And so your friendships were not affected by those troubles, or
not
do you
at
feel...
all. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, we had, I don't know about you, Xenakis, but we had Turkish Cypriots in my class. I don't know about your age, whether
I
you
think I went to the English school in 1968, and they started coming back.
Yes. Because
following the events of 63,
Yes,
64.
yes.
But then after 74, of course,
yes,
no.
when I talked about the chat group we have for my 1973 graduates, we have some Turkish Cypriot students that are there, and we talk and we exchange things and ideas. The good thing is that we have a lot of, not a lot, but some foreign students. In fact, the son of the ambassador, the Indian ambassador those days, who is in India, but okay, we talk. We have people that are in Canada, in Australia, in the US, everywhere. And we talk very easily the same language. That's the spirit is the same.
It's like the relationship and the bond and the connection was close. So when you pick that up again, it feels like you haven't even been apart. Like you say, it's just very easy to keep communicating.
Exactly.
And so you're one of the many alumni that I speak to that mention the sport, all the sport bringing them everybody together. And did you have a specific sport that was your favorite? Did you partake?
I was playing hockey, and I was
nice.
I was playing hockey for a number of years. Actually, it's a game which suited me more than football. Okay, but volley and basket, of course, and softball. We tried all kind of games, and one thing that what's the right word, that characterized us as a school is that we were playing games unknown to the society, like cricket,
okay,
hockey, softball, things like this. We also played games with the schools in the sovereign bases. There are two schools there, and we had games once a year. So yes, the sports were, I think, the central point of interest and attraction.
Should be less online, should be more in person, shouldn't it?
Yes.
I'm in your camp. Xenakis, tell me, what are your favorite memories or cherished memories, good or bad?
Cherished memories. Well, lots of memories. It's what I wanted to say, listening to Angelos and what he was saying. First, sports. Canon Newham introduced football in Cyprus. I mean, football was not played in Cyprus. And the first game the Cyprus national team played against was the English school.
Oh.
Seriously.
Really?
And actually the score was 2-2. It was a draw.
How can you even remember that?
No. There's been a bit of cheating, I must admit.
Okay. Football lovers are always good at remembering statistics. I
Yes,
find that about people that love football.
very few
So
statistics.
anyway, sorry. Carry
Anyway,
on.
yes. Anyway, my life at the English school for 7 years, it's been all fun, Victoria. Okay, having said that, all the difficulties, okay, difficult times, responsible times on our part. We had to get our A levels, get into university, because once you went to the English school, your life was more or less put in line after that. You get your A levels, you go to England to study. So your main aim was to get your A levels, but sports was very, very important for us. And I was so surprised, nicely surprised, when I realized, I hear from my fellow students or whatever, that if the English school wins the games we played against the American Academy and Melkonian, if English school came first, we get a day off. And I realized it was true.
Really?
And we had Monday off. So everybody was going during the weekend
Yeah, right.
to watch the football team, the basketball team, hoping to win, to get a day off. Okay. But yes, what English school, I think, kind of set in place in me was that you have to be balanced in your life, and you have to have your goals, have your fun, get your sports right, get everything right. And to a great extent, that's what English school gives to its students, I think. It turns you into people of high values, democratic principles, tolerance to different people. It was a multicultural, as Angelos said, place to start with. And I feel all those values helped me a lot during my life later
Wow.
on. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's still there. You get a glimpse going to graduate ceremonies now at the school and everything. You feel it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you feel that shaped your life all the way through.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Incredible.
Definitely. I went to the UK to study, Victoria, and I felt at home.
Really?
I was so tuned up that I was going to London. I went there and I didn't feel homesick. Surprised, but I surprised myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Amazing.
so that's why I said ESOBGA is my second home. Maybe the English school, but the English school through ESOBGA.
Yeah, it's the grown-up version of the English school, isn't
Exactly.
it?
Yes, very old grown up.
That's great. Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about how the English school shaped your life. What inspired you to get involved with ESOBGA as a vice chairman this time around?
Well, I didn't start as a vice chairman, obviously. I had this close friend of mine who was chairman before Angelos, Andreas Antoniou. I mentioned him again. I think he's one of the graduates who has shaped ESOBGA. Very, very interesting person. I'd like to pay gratitude to Andreas Antoniou, as well as others, of course, but he was the instigator, if you like, because he was a member of the committee a few years before me. And I was going to the ESOBGA to play cards, Bilota. We play Bilota in Cyprus, which is something like
Bridge.
well, okay, not so sophisticated as bridge, but okay, never mind. And he said, "Oh, there might be a vacancy," he said, because so and so is going to quit. I thought about it and I said, "Okay, if there's a vacancy, I can." So I started as a member. I was assistant treasurer at the time. Then I served as secretary. I served as president for a year. Now vice president. That's but I enjoyed every minute of it. I liked the challenges. We had a lot of challenges during the 15 years. We had some fun as well. Like I said before, we had the inauguration of the building, but before that, we had some fun demolishing the old building. Really, it was a great success. It caused more interest, I think, than the inauguration of the new building itself. But anyway, we had that. Then we had the Canon Newham 70 years since his death. I don't remember exactly, but a big event. We had some good times there, and we still have.
Amazing.
So, kind of, let's say, coincidence.
Yeah.
I didn't wake up one day and decide, I want to be in the ESOBGA board. I made new friends there because, okay, you know people, but you don't know them. You don't know everybody who's a graduate of the English school. People I keep in touch with still.
Well, it certainly sounds like you're in the right place given the legacy you just gave to the school and how it shaped your values and how you feel about the English school. Like, it feels like you're the right man to be in that place right now to shape ESOBGA moving forward. And Angelos, tell me, what inspired you to take the lofty role of chairman? That can't be easy.
No, I think taking the role of the chairman is not inspiration. It's forcing. No, it's obviously when I have realized back when the idea was taken to construct a new club, and it came to my attention. I've just heard it from friends, etc. We tried to help because if we can help, we should help. Now, this time, the previous board were really tired. They've been most of the previous board were working for probably 15, 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Wow. And they needed some fresh sort of assistance, some kind of help. And I thought it was a good time to help. Okay, I came with another spirit, and maybe Xenakis can comment on this. I was of the idea that we should not be, I've used the word before, servants of everybody else, of the other members. We should be the people that we organize things, we help things, we automate things, we make things more efficient, etc. Because previously, you see, you saw the committee, and some of the members, not all of them, were doing everything from cooking to cleaning to messengering to doing things like this. And this is obviously not the right way of doing it, in my mind. So my involvement was to try and put this thing. I think we are on the right track. We are lucky that we have a management board of the school that appreciates the role and the existence of the ESOBGA. And now we would be doing more thinking and planning work rather than, running about doing a few things. Yeah. So this is one of, what I will try to do during my term of office. And we'll see. But going back to another point that you were talking before, one thing that brings both the school and the ESOBGA together, it's the professional approach in tackling every single subject matter that we discuss. Okay, and this is something which we learn from the school, to be professional, to be honest, to be democratic in our approaches, to accept the difference, the different views, and all that. This is something which we've learned from the school, and we are applying it at the ESOBGA.
So kind of giving back to society or back to the community, the things that you have learned.
Definitely.
And those
it comes natural,
Yes.
Victoria.
Yeah?
It comes natural. It's like it's built in our DNA. That's the most important thing that the English school puts upon yourself. How to think critically, how to be tolerant. And these values are still there. I mean, nothing was officially taught in that respect. But it came out through the overall approach we had, which was as I said before, it was democratic, good relations with the teachers. You didn't feel, shy to go and talk to your teacher, or they were nice to us and everybody and the system. So it became a natural sort of way of thinking for us. And it's carried on in
Where do you
ESOBGA.
think those values originated from? Did they originate from Canon Newham?
I have the feeling that they did.
Really?
Canon Newham was a clergyman
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
And apparently, we must have in mind and put everything in context, the times. At the times, I mean, there are a lot of British people going to a lot of countries, setting up schools and things like that. But apparently, he was a great man. And I'm serious. I mean, he brought hockey, let alone hockey and softball and cricket. That didn't pick up. But football, he introduced it to Cyprus. And what can I say?
Yeah. You're absolutely right, Xenakis. And one of the roles of ESOBGA and the members of ESOBGA is that we feel that we are the custodians and we are the people that ensure the relationships between school, teachers, parents continue in the right way. For example, we care if one of our teachers 50 years ago or 55 years ago has died.
Right.
And we feel sorry if we have not done something about it, or if we have not brought it up to the attention of either the existing teachers or the existing members of ESOBGA or anybody else. These are the things that we put a lot of emphasis. We want the relationship to continue and to be maintained.
Amazing.
Okay. And unfortunately, we had a couple or three recent events. We had a teacher that has died.
Right.
We had a very good student that has died, fairly young, and he was graduate. He was one of those people that have helped us a lot providing material for building up the club.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so these are things which we put a lot of emphasis.
Yeah. Feels like that's a testimony to the strength of the community, and your role in the community is just to keep that, to keep that attitude open, where you are still connected, and these sad events happen, but again, it brings you closer together. Still. Okay, so going back to the events that you host at the clubhouse, can you sort of give me some examples? I'm conscious that the alumni is several different generations now. I mean, we must have 4 or 5 different generations, if not more, across from your generation that's graduated and also the students that graduated last year. Are there events at the clubhouse that could appeal to those across the whole generations, or are you working towards adding some events in that would appeal to younger?
We have done some excellent speech days. We had people like ambassadors speaking, or one other event that I remember was the regional president of ExxonMobil.
Recently, yes.
That has given up a speech. Ministers that are giving speeches, and other experts, I would say, recognized experts, that preferably if they are graduates, we like that to continue. And this is one of the things that we are considering bringing back, but to bring them back not probably in the form of having a speech, but more of a debate.
Very nice.
Okay, more of a debate. So we attract, or we find people that are attracted to the the subject matter, and we bring and we organize a high-level debate with probably a result and the conclusion that can be publicized. But it needs a lot of organizing. But as I said, we want to try and identify graduates to do that. And we have, as you know, we have well-known people around us, both in Cyprus and abroad, that have excelled in what they do. And we see what we can do about it.
I think the debating thing's a fantastic idea. I've never come across that before as in terms of an event to bring people together, an alumni event. And now you mention it, I hear a lot of debating is a really strong point of the school and people moving on and graduating. So I think that would be really exciting. You might need a few bouncers around, a bit of security or something.
Yes,
depending on how heated it gets.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Xenakis, what's your input into the events on the at the clubhouse?
Yeah, I must say, we must be honest and say that it's difficult to attract young people. I mean, ESOBGA over the years is growing like we are growing. It's understandable in a lot of ways. The times change. Younger people are more into building their lives. There are so many things now. It's not like 50 years ago that we had to go and play football at the school. That was it. Now people have a lot of choices, but we are working on it. And most of the events we do are open to everybody. A treasure hunt, which is a traditional thing we do, event, attracts mostly younger generations. But somehow we find it hard to get them to become members and stay consistently and pay every year. That's one of the challenges, if you like, of ESOBGA now, which I believe is something that this collaboration we have with the English School and the alumni platform and all the rest of the efforts of the school will assist in this direction. Also, the Christmas dance, which was traditionally there, we had a few younger generations. But you rightly said so, Victoria, it's difficult to find something which will attract a 25-year-old and a 75-year-old at the same time. We do annually all the graduates of the school, the seventh formers, let's say. We invite them over for a barbecue because we feel that they should know what ESOBGA is like, and maybe they will join us in the future. But it's one of the things that all associations face. I mean, the changes of the times have this impact. But we're still alive and kicking and trying to get everybody, as many as possible. Mind you, if everybody came up, I don't know where we would go. I mean, we had to probably meet at the Agasi B or whatever. Because, I mean, if you consider this, 100, 150 people per year, let's say for 30 or 40 years on average, that's, I don't know, it's a few thousand.
A few thousand, certainly, yes.
At least. We have people who pay their subscription because according to the law, to be a member of ESOBGA, you have to pay your annual subscription. We have 200 this year, another 200 maybe the other year. We have a hardcore, but we're managing. The important thing is ESOBGA now doesn't owe any money because we had to borrow money from fellow graduates. Like Angelos was one of the people who put up their money as a guarantee to get a loan. We paid everybody back up to the last cent. And we are in a position to move forward.
That's fantastic. That's really good.
That's what I feel, yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I think that as you get older, we start to appreciate these things more. You know, when you're flying high and you're straight out of university, the thought of looking back and appreciating history and legacy, it's not really on our radar, is it? And I think generationally, you know, it takes a while until maybe you've got grown-up kids, and then you stop and think and reflect, take time to reflect. So it's it's constantly hard. Maybe we should take some lessons from TikTok.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with you, Victoria, because if we had this talk 30 or 40 years ago, I wouldn't say what I've said today.
Yeah.
I mean, you appreciate, as you grow older, you appreciate the impact the school and the association with the graduates has on you more and more.
I agree. What are your feelings around that, Angelos? Do you feel that also?
Yes, certainly. Certainly. And the generations, I mean, I don't know what kind of generation are we? Baby boomers or whatever?
No, baby boomers are older, Angela.
Older, okay. But all these
post-war baby
generations,
boomers, aren't they? Immediately post-war.
Post-war, yes.
Close there, close.
Yeah, so you're
But
60,
the
early
generation
60s.
X, Y, Z, and all these now millennials and all these things. Okay, they have different interests, of course, but again, it's up to us as older people, as older graduates, as older sort of alumni of the school, to play the role of a guardian, to play the role of somebody that wants to preserve certain principles, certain things that we know for sure will help them later on in life, because we've gone through that path and we know. And we know what pays and what doesn't pay. So it would be good to keep trying attracting them. And one of the things, of course, an easy thing would be to do, but not so easy, of course, is to get the head boys and the head girls of each year and work with them. Work with them, see what they can do and what we can do to them to organize them.
Yeah. So do you think that the head boys and the head girls of each year that's gone past, do you think they are still, I mean, obviously there must be strong communicators in order to get that role in the first place back in the day. Do you think they would also be central communicators within their year group as well? Do you think they would have stayed close?
I believe it.
I don't know, but most probably.
It's you know what? We dug out in our class of 73, which means we joined, I don't know, 64, 65.
66. When did you go to English school?
Yes. The last year England won the cup, right?
That's right.
That's how I remember. Right.
Okay.
No, I deducted 2 out of 68.
That's why they have not got the World Cup again. But
okay, that's another discussion completely.
We dug out the information who came first in the entrance examination,
right?
Second, third, and we found the record.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the boy that was a very close friend of mine and also a soldier of mine later on has died during the war.
He came first, Angela?
He came from Andreas Stivaros.
Okay.
Wow. But these are the things that we remember. That's why, going back, answering your question about the head boy and the head girl, I think everybody remembers the head boy and the head girl of their class. Okay, and if they approach, and I'm sure they have a way of communicating with each other, and I'm sure they have a role to play. But let's listen to them first, what they have to say. They might say, forget it. We are not interested.
Yeah, true.
Or they might say, this is how we would make them interested.
Yeah.
So we need a bit of homework there, a need of fact-finding ideas from these people.
Yeah. Okay. You've given me a fantastic idea. I actually have the database with all the contact details of the head boy and head girl. I don't know how far back it goes. I haven't looked at how far back it goes, but at least 20 years. I have all the names and the contact details. So you've given me a fantastic
Mhm.
idea now to get in touch with them and generate
Oh,
ask some
yes.
questions. And, you're right. We'd love their feedback.
Yes.
And maybe that's the beginning of pulling ESOBGA and the
Mhm.
now school back together to sort of build that bridge between us and see, let's see what we can do now.
That would be a good starting point, I think. And that's how we start working together.
Yeah.
Because obviously some of these might be involved with the ESOBGA, might not be involved, or that we know them. But never mind the fact that some of these head boys and girls might be children of us, or some of us.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of generational throughout with the school, isn't there? An awful lot of generations.
Yes.
Amazing. Fantastic. Okay, well, just to wrap up with then, can you share some of your hopes for the future with the school itself and ESOBGA working together? What would an ideal future be to see moving forward?
You're giving me the difficult part.
No, I can answer first if you like.
Because then it's going to work off what you say.
Of course.
No, I mean, this is the most important discussion question.
Yeah.
Yes, we must find what is the most important next thing that we should do. We must also make it absolutely clear in our mind that the school will continue to be what it is, and it is in the right direction. The fact that we know the headmaster, we talk to the headmaster, we talk to the management board, we know their ideas, what they are striving or what they are trying to do. We have already established some kind of liaison persons between the board and us, the management board and us. But we have not started yet working. We are giving them time, of course, because they've only recently took office. But they are very eager to hear from us, whatever we have to say, and we are very eager to hear from them. We have the connection now. We are ready to start. We are ready to start. Yes, at the end, a final answer to your question, Victoria, is that we are very hopeful that the school will continue to be what has been in the last 125 years.
Fantastic. I'd like to see some of the values that you have both talked about today come back to the fore from the school at the moment, and then just rebuild that relationship. Share your final thoughts.
Yes. Well, for the future, I would say what's important for me is for English school to carry on as it is. I know people have a lot of ideas about changes that happen at the school. I'd say the core values are still there. So I'd like to see English school thriving and keep being the number one educational institution in Cyprus. And I'd like ESOBGA to be there as a guardian of the tradition, if you like, and to work as closely and in collaboration with the school. Because ESOBGA has no meaning in its existence if there is no English school. And English school owes a lot to its alumni and through them to ESOBGA. So that's my thoughts, and I'm positive we will get that.
Amazing. Well, thank you, both of you, Angelos and Xenakis, for your time today. It's been a lovely chat, and I would like to have gone a lot deeper, but we have to keep in mind our listeners' ability. But I'm sure if any of you would like to continue these conversations, you can find these lovely gentlemen at the ESOBGA clubhouse. If you wish to find out any more about ESOBGA, you'll be able to find them online. And yeah, if you can, their link is also on the alumni platform too. So thank you again for your time, and appreciate conducting this interview in English instead of Greek. My Greek is not quite up to it.
So next interview in Greek.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. You can interview me.
Thank you, Victoria, for your initiative. It's very important and valued.
That's great. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.